Hello, everyone, and I am so glad to be back here with my son, Khalid Shaban bin Coward, for his podcast. We have been away for a little while. We had a little detour. We're going to tell you all about that detour um, in this show because it's a pretty frightening experience that Khalid went through. And so you're in for a real treat as we come back now because it's Holly's going to be sharing his story of really. I'm not even going to tell what it was about, but I will tell you this: when we were going through this event, it was the scariest day of my life. I've never been more scared and more worried about my son and my family than I was when this was taking place. And what I want to say now that everybody's safely out, that I also got to a deeper place of love and appreciation for my family and my son. And I'm really glad to be back here today with Khalid to introduce him back to his show. I Am the Universe with Khaled and Martin, because this is his show. And I'm here to support him. And also just understand he's streaming live from Kakuma, Kenya. And if you're seeing maybe not a clear picture, it's the best we got. This is a network. So if we lose Khalid here and now, he'll come back. Just bear with us, but we're dealing with some difficulties in that part of the world when it comes to the internet, and we will deal with those challenges in a good way. And son, I got your back, and I can't tell you how glad I am that we're back here this Friday again, and you're healthy with that beautiful smile to tell your story. And really, the point of the story is really the power of when you're in the darkest of moments, the hardest of times, something kicks in, some power kicks in within you that connects us to a deeper power that protects us and gets us through it. So, Khalid, I'm going to turn it over to you, son, and let you share your story, and I can and take it from here. Okay, it's your show.
Okay, thank you so much. That is my dad and my boss and my friend. Yes, my story is right now I even don't have my dreads. And remember the last time you saw me, I had dreadlocks, but now I don't have dreadlocks because I got into some issues. That's why even we weren't having the podcast at some point. Yes, but now during that process of the problem, I learned something or I discovered something. Because we were attacked by the police in Kenya, Kakuma refugee camp. They were saying we uh, we were in some violent situation, and they took us to the police station. They beat us to a point that we were like terrorists. That's what I can say. The beatings were like we're terrorists. Then they asked us whether we are gay or not, and yes, it doesn't feel good, to be gay in Kenya or in Africa. It's not good. It's not the right way. That is so bad. So we had to say we are not, you know, and yes, they beat us because the fact that Ugandans, they know Ugandans are gay people. They're gay people. So, yes, besides that, the beatings were too much. And along the journey of the beatings and everything, then where the love part came in is where my friend, my boss, that I call my brother too, he's called Abba. He was defending me, like through the beatings, and he was trying to put himself there also, taking part of my beatings. And I felt like I have a brother next to me, I have a friend next to me, and I have someone who can stand for me in all ways. Uh, they always say, I'll always die for you or die with you. I think I saw that moment with Abba, because if he would accept being beaten on my behalf. And then here comes a point where I felt like life has gone. Like my life had stopped, like at the moment. I think they were hitting something that is already dead. Because I had lost hope of coming back. I had lost hope of being here seeing you guys, seeing people again, the way I've been seeing that, seeing very many people that I've been seeing. I've been online, I've been on the internet, I'm used to the internet, I'm used to, very many things. But here comes a miracle. Oh, here comes the universe, throws my mother's picture in front of me. And like, I thought of her that moment. I wanted her because I had spent 2 years without talking to her, 2 years without even thinking about her, 2 good years without thinking about her. Can you imagine? That's the moment I remembered that I have a mother. That's the moment I remembered that I have to talk to my mother. I have to look for my mother. I think that made me get strong, and I felt like I have to talk to my mother no matter what. 2 years without talking to her, and this is happening to me now. So I became more strong, and in that bravery and everything, I I saw that evening them telling us, "You can go, you're free to go," and when they told us that, I asked Abba, "Is it true?" Because they just opened the door and they were like, "You can now go." I was like, "Is it true?" Because I'd even stopped crying. I think my tear glands, they're called tear glands, were dry because they hit me. They put staples in my butt, like. And I felt life. What am I really going through? What am I really doing? What is here? What have I really done? I've not killed anyone. I'm not a terrorist. I don't have bombs in the house or guns or something. Because they even came home and checked home. You know, they came
He'll be back. We'll just hold some space, and while he's out, I'll tell you what's going on my side. I got a call in the middle of the night from my other son, Darius, and he was very shaken and very upset to alarm me to the fact that Abba, our leader, and Khalid, who my son you just met, and 4 other men were arrested and taken into custody at the police station. And I know this was terrorizing to my son Darius because he had spent 90 days in prison, and that was torture for him. And he was terrorized and traumatized by the thought of having to go back into and get anywhere near that camp or that police station. But he went anyway. And he stood there and he heard and told me he could hear his brother screaming. And it broke my heart. So that's what I was going through while they were in there. So I see you got your phone back, Holly. You got your connection back, and I'll let you have the mic back. Go back ahead. Go ahead, Holly.
Yeah. So me thinking me thinking about my mother made me strong. And when they, because I remember they came and checked the house, they destroyed everything. And when they destroyed everything, there's one thing that they destroyed that perturbed my head. I felt like, I was like, this is the second time I'm getting this. I felt so bad. Like, what have I really done to the universe or the world? Because where we come from, or where I come from, my home place, my mother's place, my mother can't afford an iPhone now, but I got a dad who could afford an iPhone for me. Now, here comes these people destroying my iPhone. And I'm like, really? This is the second time this is happening. Like, really? Am I not blessed to have an iPhone? But now, all that I realized after me thinking, like after me knowing that I have to stand strong because there's a woman that I have to see and talk to, call, I have to call her. And that was my mom. And lucky enough, I got out with pain, sorrow. But at the same time, I came back with a smile. That when I reach home, the first thing is to call my mom, look for my mom's number, call her, you know. And when I did call her, I felt relieved. I felt this Carl boy. My mom always called me Carl. She used to cut Khaled short and she'd call me Carl. Every time I had a problem with her or my sisters or anybody. So she would call me Carl, what is wrong? You know, my sisters used to call me K in short. They would say K. So I felt that Carl when I was talking to her and she asked me this question, where are you? And I told her just now I'm safe. I'm okay. But I had pain all over my body. But I just told her I'm safe. And I'm okay. Everything is okay. I just wanted to hear you, to hear your voice, and for you to say something at least. That's what I wanted to hear from you, mom. And she tells me how much she's missing me, how much she wants to see me, how much she wants to meet me. She's happy and warm, overwhelmed that I'm safe. Here comes also my sister knocking at the door saying, Khalid, the last time I saw you.
Welcome to my world. He gets you right to the point, and then the network goes down. It's just crazy, isn't it? Well, let's give it a second. So, you see, it's a pretty interesting story we live in, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I think you're getting the gist of everything here. That this was quite a moment for Khalid, a real turning point for all of us. I will share one little piece of very interesting part of the story. Is this? One of our meditation teachers, Paul, decided that what we needed to do is we needed to call a special meditation circle with the intention of getting our people out, getting our people out to safety. So it's amazing what we did. We pulled together a virtual meditation circle, sacred circle, about 25 African people and a handful of Americans. And we came together on Zoom, and Paul led us into a meditation with the intention to let our people go. And it was a powerful moment. And Paul has a way of really speaking from that voice of authority directly, that divine voice of authority. So he comforted us all into a deep, deep, deep space of love, unconditional love, energy. We call that the zone of genius. Because inside that zone of genius, it's all loving kindness. It's all everything that's wonderful. And we knew that if we could get into that space, we could call on the universe for her help and evoke help from the universe. And we did that. And we got in there. And everybody had a chance to check in for just a moment. I'm just telling a little bit what happened on the outside, Holly. Just a second. I'll give it right back to you. And we had this meditation circle, and Paul led it, and we all then come in and checked in about how we were feeling. We added what was going on with us, and we set our intentions, and we created this wonderful fabric of unconditional love that became intertwined in this sort of collective energy of love to get our people released. It was very powerful. I had an opportunity to kind of take us a little bit deeper at one point, and that even got us even more powerful. But the beauty of his story is that when this about an hour into this meditation, we got word Khalid and Abba were free. And that was powerful. So we all had a very transformative moment in that chaos. Just as Khalid was having his within himself and his new relationship with his mother, those of us on the outside who had formed a prayer circle also experienced a deep transformation in our own lives. So that's just about the power of unconditional love. So Khalid, I'll give it back to you now. Well, there you go again. Hold on. Let's see if he comes back. This darn network. Y'all don't want to hear me. You want to hear my son. He's the one that's so cute and entertaining. Oh, Lord. I know I want to hear more from him than I do want to hear from myself anyway. But I'm fortunate that I enjoy doing this and I want to support him, and I don't want to have too long of a gap between these things. But when he comes back, I'm going to shut up in mid-sentence so he can get in what he has to say, because it's a very interesting story, and it gets even more interesting from here. Because as you see, he's back, and Lord, what have we been doing since he got back? And it's really, really, really exciting what we're doing at the Diamond Mine Academy and the Diamond Mine Project. And maybe I'll take a second to explain what the Diamond Mine Project is while he's out. The Diamond Mine Project is something that we created with Khalid, my partner Abba, and my other son Darius, and a few other of our team. There's about a total of about 7 of us. And they're all African, except they're all native Africans, except for me. I'm an African now by the name of Kintu, which we hadn't got to. It's coming up in the story. But what I'm going to say is we formed a partnership, and we've created a nonprofit, and we created a project for the sole purpose of moving vulnerable African refugees to the United States from countries where it's not safe to be themselves. And that covers a lot of different kinds of people. But it covers a lot of people, particularly a lot of people from Uganda who might be part of the LGBT community. And you don't even have to be part of the community. You could just be an ally, and they would accuse you of it. So it's not really a matter of they don't have to prove that you're LGBTQ. They just have to accuse you of being LGBTQ, like they did in the camp. And if you don't confess, they keep beating you until you finally confess, and then they can put you to death. But so it's a pretty dreadful situation. Some people might admit to being something they're not, just so they can avoid being tortured, and then they get put to death. So it's kind of like a bad situation all around. But the good news is that the Biden administration, as we have a new policy, it's been in effect for a while, but it's actually been approved for a while, but it's actually it's being launched right now. It's called the Welcome Corps, which allows for individual citizens like me and you and others to sponsor a refugee from another country. There's some requirements on their side, and it's a very minor requirement, and it's not a lot of commitment on our part. You form a group of 5 people, and you appoint a leader, and you raise $2,500 and put it in an account and show them you got money to take care of people, and make a commitment that you're going to help people get acclimated to the new country for 3 months. And there's all kind of government things that kick in if you're a refugee class in the United States. Medicaid and other things come in, food stamps, and all kind of wonderful things that come in to help you get acclimated to the United States, and also help you get a work permit. You're allowed to work. So what we do is if we're sponsors, we put together a group of people to welcome people into the United States and help them get acclimated. And it's a lot of fun. And we're about to bring over our first person any time now. So that's the mission that we're on with my sons and my business partner, Khalid, Abba, and Khalid and Darius. And then we've got a handful of other people that are part of our team. There's Paul and Andy and Icon and John Elliott. John Elliott is an American. He's like an ambassador here. He's another old white gay man like myself who wants to help people out who are in trouble. But if you're interested in being part of that, go to our website and take a look at our website, which is www.diamondmineacademy.org. That's Diamond Mine, MINE, like a mine for diamonds, academy.org. And the reason we call it Diamond Mine is because these are like diamonds. When I discovered Abba and my fellow African refugees in this camp, I said, God, I've discovered a diamond mine. These people are jewels. These are brilliant, resistant, human beings, they have a lot of value to add to this world. And they're not meant, they didn't come, God did not put them on the universe, on the planet to live in hell. He brought them here to do something, make a big change in the world, and they're doing it. And this is the thing, America, get excited, because we're about to raise the entire level of consciousness in America. When these people get free to be themselves and live authentically, all of us are going to benefit from that. Every one of us in America. Because these are brilliant diamonds. These are the best assets in the world right now. People are assets. Anything else is replaceable. But when people understand that our assets are our people, and that's the problem with Africa. They've never really understood, and at least they haven't since the white people went in there and colonized them and took their power away. But the reality, the most valuable, most precious thing Africa has are its people. Those are its most valuable assets, and they have been hidden in for too long. And it is now time to find these assets and bring them into the light, bring them free, clean them up, and then a lot of them bring them into this country, because what they have discovered is rubbish. I have discovered as diamonds, and they are diamonds. As you can see from my son, he's quite a diamond, and he's quite entertaining. He's a very handsome man, and he's got a big heart, and he's got a good story to tell, and he's going to become a really good podcast host, in spite of the fact that he has a real problem with the network. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to support him, because he can't help the network problem. He can't fix it. He can try his best. Here he comes. I'm going to shut the minute he comes on screen, because I want him to talk. I don't want to talk. There you are. I'm not saying another word. Glad you got
Yeah.
back.
Sorry, I even don't remember where I'd stopped.
Well, you were getting to the part about, you were talking about you had reconnected with your mom and all that kind of stuff. Why don't you get to the part about when your brother gave me a new name and how I became an African out of all this? What do you think about that? What do you think about me being called Kintu? I didn't put that up here today, but Khalid's brother decided I should have an African name, and they went through a ceremony and they named me Kintu. I haven't really heard your side of the story of that. What do you think about me being Kintu, Khalid?
About that, you being called Kintu, it's like welcoming you, like being an African. It's like a baptism, generally, like you're now African, like you're from Uganda. You're Ugandan because Kintu is a Ugandan name. A Muganda name, it's a Kiganda name and a Ugandan name. The tribe of Baganda, it's Kintu. There is Chintu. Then in Uganda, it's also Chintu because the Baganda originally they are Ugandans. So yeah, it made okay. Yes, when you are named Chintu, yes, and you embraced it. I felt like you embraced the African culture. You embraced the African the African in us, and it's in you. The fact that you adopted us, kids who are Africans, so you feel the African in you. And if I remember correctly, you ever told me a story of when you were young, you used to play with African kids, used to love being next to African kids. So I think it came flowing, it came bonding, slowly and slowly and slowly. And yes, you're now African. The more you liked playing with Africans, the more you liked being close to Africans. You're now African. The name is there. You're Africans. There are people who are in the US and they're Africans, but they don't have African names. I'm an example. I don't have an African name. No, I don't. And for you, you're lucky you have an African name. you're keen to me. I don't have me. All my names are Muslim, And when I got adopted, still I remained with the last name Coward. So maybe for you, you're blessed. Like you're an African inborn, like in you. It's not because you're born in Africa you'll be an African. No, I think the African part of you is in you. You feel it in you, and I think that's how.
I, you're exactly right. I feel like an African. I have,
Yes.
and I will say this, and I hope I don't make my fellow Americans. I say it because it's the value for me of becoming an African. What you have taught me is it helped me let go of every thread of my narcissism, and that is the value of what you guys bring to the table. I got to say that as an American, and I'm as guilty as I'm not talking about anybody, but I'm saying that we're grown up in a culture that's always about putting ourselves first. We even market what's in it for me, what's in it for me, what's in it for me. It's a very narcissistic way of looking at the world. And it's also a very painful because you're always saying, look at me and look at what I've done, look at what I've accomplished. And you never can live up to what you expect to live up to. So you're never really free. You're never really free of that concern that someone's not going to like you, you're not important enough, you're not rich enough, all those things that we think we need to prove to be worthy of love in the world. And what I got from that is that you show me I am loved. I'm loved as an African. And with that deep, deep love, I was finally able to just totally let go of the last thread of any belief I had within me that said, because I'm a white American man, I am somehow better than my African brothers and sisters. It is just simply ridiculous. Because what I've discovered and why I'm so proud to be an African is that I have learned so much about myself and the world and my place in it from your love and from your acceptance. And I think that is the gift that you guys bring to America is that you're going to help cure Americans of their narcissism. And they're not going to like that because narcissists don't like being called narcissists. There's a
Yes.
wonderful film out called Prom, by the way, and it's got what's her name? Meryl Streep is in it, and a whole bunch of cast of other Nicole Kidman. It's one of my favorite all time movies, real fun movie, and it takes place about because these actors are narcissists. And there's a rub in it. It's a real truth to that. And then when they went out and did something for somebody else, finally from their heart, they got cured of their narcissism. So if anybody asks me, what is the thing that Africans bring to us and it brought to me is a cure for my narcissism. I mean, we all need a certain healthy amount of narcissism to take care of ourselves. But I think we in America grew up with a healthy dose of competition about looking at ourselves and being really self-centered people. And I don't mean that for everybody. I don't mean that in generalization. I think people in America are extremely generous. And we are some of the most philanthropic people on the planet. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about an inner sense of self. And what that narcissism is really an inner sense of not trusting yourself, not believing in yourself. That's an unhealthy narcissism because you're trying to protect the self. That's what it is with people. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and that's what alcoholism. It's a narcissistic behavior. So if I could say anything wonderful and grateful about my name, Kintu, and about my adoption into your family and becoming an African is that I don't hold on to any more threads and I'm in some way superior to anyone. I am gratefully and lovingly a part of this family. And I want to say that publicly, son, that I just love you and I love your brother and I love everyone in Africa. And I can't wait to get you guys here to America because America, you get ready for something because these guys, once they get free, it is going to shake America loose. And if you think you're having fun here now, you wait till these guys get here. They're going to show you what having fun's all about. So I'll turn the
Yeah.
back over to you, Ali, but I just wanted to add a few things in there.
Yeah. At some point, Africa, like we Africans, we are brave. That's what I know. We are brave. We are strong. and we stand on our grounds, and we put our shoulders and neck up and head tall, because we be I don't know what is put in us Africans that make us feel like we are strong. If you look at a story back, it's a movie actually. It's a long time movie. It's called Back of the Bus. Yeah, Back of the Bus. I think
Yep.
it's a I think you know it. Back of the
I do.
bus, where the lady was told to get back to the seat behind, and she refused, and she remained in front where she was seated. That's why Africans, Black Americans, also can now sit in the bus anywhere, right? So that bravery is in Africans, you know. So that is in you. That is you. You have that bravery in you. That's why you're keen to, and you accepted it. That African mentality was in you, and you accepted it. You blended it. You blended into the kintu. You blended in, because if you look at it, you've been here trying to help Africans have a good life, a better life,
I love doing that. I want
financial,
you to have a good life. Yeah.
them being financial independent. How many people have done that? How many white people have done that? None. But you came in and you chose Black Africans. You chose Africans because you've always been playing with Africans from day one. You've been making friends who are Africans from day one. So thank you so much. And
Look what your
thank you
brother
for
wrote.
being.
Look
Pardon?
what your brother wrote.
Yes.
We love you too, Darius. I love you too, son. Isn't Khalid doing a wonderful job? I know it makes him nervous when we lose, but we're almost at the half hour, son. So we'll sign out here. I did talk a little bit about the Diamond Mine project, and they can find that by going to www.diamondmineacademy.org. And that's spelled Diamond Mine, MINE, like a mine, like a diamond mine, academy.org. And there you'll find all about the work we're doing to help Khalid and others like him get relocated in America. And there's a lot of promise there, and it doesn't take a whole lot of commitment, but we could use some support. And
Yeah,
we'd
and
appreciate that. What would you
there's
like to say,
something I want
Khalid?
to tell the world.
Okay.
Remember, if you go to our website and you donate, you're changing a life, like the way Martin has changed lives. Why don't you also be among the people who can change a life? Martin has changed lives. You be among that person. You be that person who can change a life. Even one. It is okay. You can do it. It is fine. You can change one life, and that life will live because of you. You just have to go to the website and just press the donate and choose the amount you feel like, because we have put all the amounts, because not everyone, well, our hands are not equal. you know our hands are not equal. If you look at them, they're not equal, so we can't all afford, but at least their pay plans on the website. And also we have a coaching session. It's also there, Martin Coward coaching, and I'm an example of that. I cannot refuse to say that, because I've changed with Martin Coward coaching, and there are very many testimonies in the Western world. There are many. They're there, and we also have a meditation that you can join. Please join. I'm begging you. Please, 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 please join, and you make a community. We make a community. We make a family, and we make a nation of our own, somewhere in Africa, where everyone is proud of joining, where everyone is proud of getting help or getting advice. Because in that nation, that family, that community, we have teachers, we have spiritual teachers, we have people who can change them. We have change agents in that community. Don't miss
I
the
think that's a
opportunity.
great idea. So, what's the best way for people to find you, Khalid, if they want to join that? I think that's a great idea. Reminder. Thank you for reminding me that 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 daily meditation that we do every day, Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday, at we do it at 7 o'clock in New York, and that's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Kenya, and that is an opportunity for you to plug into our community and have a meditation and experience what it's like to be taken into the zone of genius by these deeply spiritual and loving African men. We do have
Yes.
women in our community too, as well, but for some reason, I don't know why, but the men are the ones that lead the spiritual stuff. But all are welcome. Great people, everybody's welcome to come and join us in our community at 7 o'clock Eastern time and at 2 o'clock East African time. And Holly, how's the best way for people to get in touch with? I know you're on LinkedIn, you're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, and if they send you a
Yeah.
direct message on one of those, you'll send them a link to our morning meditation, our daily meditation.
Yes. Facebook is Khalid Shaban, and on LinkedIn I'm Khalid Mohammed bin Kawat, and yeah, Instagram. On Instagram, it's Diamond Mind, because it's the one that I'm using right now. It's the one that I use. So, yes, if you want to get the daily morning meditation, how you inbox me, you DM me on Instagram, and I send you, and I'll immediately send it. Even if you send it at midnight, I'll wake up and send it.
That
Thank
is
you.
so sweet. Ali, I love you, and I'm glad you're back. And we got through this network problems and all, and we'll sign out now. But thank you so much, son. I'm so proud of
You're
you
welcome.
for sharing your story. It's a beautiful story. And thank you for my name, by the way. I appreciate it. Hold on, don't go anywhere yet. We're going to just close it out.